What's your motivation when you get up in the morning? Is it your loved ones, people that are in your circle who give you support? Or are you more of like the lone wolf that does things on their own and doesn't really need anybody? Well, today we're going to be talking about the importance of friendship and community. So let's sit back, relax, and let's talk about this on today's episode of the Bump Podcast.
Welcome everyone to another episode of the Bump Podcast. I'm your host Shamir, here with my co-host Nabil.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode today. We're so excited to have you guys join us. We've got an interesting topic to talk about.
Yes, we do. It's about having friends.
The importance of friendship and community.
The importance of friendship and community. I'm sorry guys, I'm just sometimes out of it. And he just literally told me like, hey, literally this is like what it is. 5 seconds ago. And now it's just, I got so much on my mind.
He's getting
very
old.
busy. It's to the point like I'm literally writing every single thing down in order to remember every single task I have. I have a checklist and then I have my calendar. But anyways, here we are. You know, it's really late at night. Actually, it's past 8 o'clock. So, we're here. We're podcasting for you guys. So again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on the ringle dingle dingle. Follow us on all our social platforms, and thank you for the support, guys, because you guys have been phenomenal. Yeah, and we're going to continue to keep pushing forward on a weekly basis for you guys. We got a few guests coming on very soon for you guys, so hopefully you guys get to enjoy that as well. Anyways, let's dive into this topic, Nabil. Let's talk to these people. How important this is, not just for our lives, but for the fans out there as well.
The fans, oh man, so. Obviously, before we dive in, well, the meanings of both friendship and community, right? And I feel like this is up to opinion, up to debate in terms of what friendship is, but essentially friendship is a state of enduring affection, esteem, intimacy, and trust between two people. In all cultures, friendships are important relationships throughout a person's lifespan. Mm-hmm. That is true. And community is a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. The sense of community that organized pretty much the things that are provided to us within that community or relationship. But I'm leaving the question for all of you guys. What does it mean to you in your own personal life to have friendships and community? I think it's something. The reason we brought this up was I think my wife was the one that kind of suggested the topic, and I was like, "Ooh, yeah, this is good," because just the other day, my wife and I had him over, and his lady and our nephew over, as well as some longtime friends of ours that we've known for years, and they were my groomsmen at my wedding. Of course, this guy was the best man, you know, he has to be. Yeah. So it was just nice to catch up with them. We've both been going through different struggles, pretty hardcore in this season of life. Yeah. And I was able to call one of those guys and just be like, listen, I don't really want you to say much. Just listen to what I got to say. Blah. You know, so I let it all out and told him what I was going through, how I was feeling and all that other stuff. And he just listened. And he was just like, wow, buddy, I'm sorry to hear that, you know. Gave me some advice based off of his experience. And it was so nice to just be reminded that that I still have people who truly care. For sure. And even though we don't see each other as often as we would like to, when we see each other, it's just like time's never really passed. Even though it has, because the man's got 4 kids. Yeah. And when you see them growing up, you're like, son of a gun, we're getting old.
Yeah, we're getting very old.
It's crazy. And we met
at least 10 years ago for sure.
Close to it. I know he joined Publix the way we did a few years after us. I don't remember. He mentioned it the other day, and I was like, oh, really?
I mean, I've known him from high school, but we weren't buddies in high school. It was just somebody that I had seen a lot.
Acquainted with.
Yeah, somewhat or another. And, but yeah, friendships, to the people out there that don't have friendships, please, on the comment box below, let us know, what do you guys think about friendships? What do you think about family members in the community, like, or whatever? Maybe you don't have a support system. Maybe you don't have any of this that we're talking about. Let us know how you feel. Let us know what your thought process is. There's some posts that sometimes you see on social media that says like friend and boyfriend, girlfriend, all of them have an end at the end, like they got to end at some point. And I understand those posts to a certain extent, but it's just like sometimes I feel like the people that create those things are people that have a negative mindset towards the beginning of that end. Does that make that sense? Does that make sense of like, okay, the friendships you create,
right,
whether boyfriend, girlfriend, friend in general, whatever, if you're starting an approach of like, okay, this is going to end bad, it's going to end bad, so I think that, people have to change their mindset in a way that they can comprehend that things can change if we have a positive mindset.
I feel within that kind of relationship, you have to be willing to make the change on your end. Like, what can you do to be better, to make that relationship more solid, more concrete, more durable, especially when you disagree with them.
Mm-hmm. So, people out there just that don't have friends or don't have any support system whatsoever, let us know how you guys feel and maybe what we can talk about down the road in the podcast to continue this topic, because I know there's a lot of people that would be like, I don't believe in friends. Friends is $1 in our pocket or something like that,
And to me, that's a poor mentality. We're really not meant to do life by ourselves. It's just not in our DNA. I don't care what anybody
calls
says.
it different ways too. An acquaintance, a coworker, a family member. In Christianity, fellowship. So like, there's different types of names that everybody in society literally calls it. But at the end of the day, we always need that. There's going to be at least that one cool person at your job or wherever you go to on a daily basis that has a good conversation every time you're around them, has a good vibe, a good aura, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, us venting and talking to people is always a relief in our mind, in our heart, in our soul. So it's things that we need, whether you like it or not, or no matter what experience you've been through, because I've been through tough situations, like with a few of my friends that that I've even fought against and all these things in the past, all types of history,
and they're still tight,
and we're still tight. Man went to visit me in prison a bunch of times. Sent me money, sent me books, checked on my family when I wasn't around, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like the negative that we had never outweighed the positive that we had and that we continue to have. So I can comprehend people that have been through tough situations with whatever friendship or relationship they have had, and I will never discard that anybody that's gone through a tough situation as if like, okay, now Shamir's good. Now, he's in a nice position in his life, so it's easier said than done. No, I have been through hell and back with my relationships in my life. But at the end of the day, I've also learned that I need to tweak and manage certain things to a certain point where I need to fix myself and my points of views, like Nabil just said earlier, in order to make things flow a little bit more easy. But I think there, to get to the point of this topic, I think that any relationship is important. We should cherish them, bless them in any way we can if they're not as blessed as us. And just tell them how appreciative you are to having them in your life, because a lot of people let's say the people that do have friendships and family members and support system and a community that supports them, those people should understand that, that's a blessing and that a lot of people don't have it. So, that's something that I learned when I was in prison too. Like, I was like, man, like, I got a support system. There's thousands and thousands of dudes in this state and women in this state that are incarcerated that don't have nobody to write them a letter, to write and send them a picture on the tablet, to sending them a book or $25 in commissary or whatever. And it's just those blessings that you're just like, man, I'm supremely blessed, and I should be thankful instead of ungrateful. you know.
Yeah, I think you were always thankful.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what I'm trying to say is that sometimes we are still ungrateful, even though we have so many blessings.
True.
Or like we're not counting we're not counting our blessings, and we're just like, well, you know, why don't I have this? Like, look around us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
That's really true. I'm gonna touch upon a little bit more in depth, I guess, of the significance of these particular friendship and community. But then I want to ask a question. Why is friendship so important? Is kind of the question I had, right? And so, what I found was friendship starts with trust. Being able to have trust and confidence in your friends is one of the most important requirements of a strong relationship, because true friendship means you are able to count on one another. Part of caring for a friend is honoring what they tell you, no matter what the significance, with confidentiality and respect. And I mean, that just hit the nail on the head big time. If you don't have that within your friendship with whomever you have, then what's the point of having that friendship? Because sometimes we keep certain friendships because they might be cool and this and that, but they're very toxic. They're negative. They don't allow us to grow. They don't challenge us to grow. That's super important to have people that'll challenge you to grow, meaning getting you out of your comfort zone, saying things about you that could be negative, but in a truthful way and in a respectful way, where they're like, listen, I'm bringing this up to you because I want you to get better. I want you to do better. I want to see you grow, and I want to see you, blossom into a more wiser version of yourself than the person you've been all your life. And I'm not seeing that change in you.
Right.
And here I am over here. Let's say I have a family now. I have a job that may not be necessarily what I want, but I'm able to take care of my family, and we're able to do things together. You're still over here, still same job, not really progressing because you've passed up on all these opportunities. Like, what are you doing? Things like that. People who are real with you is exactly what we all need.
Right.
And sometimes they might be a little rough around the edges, but some of those people is what we need too. That wake up call.
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, then just again, what are you doing? If you only want people to just constantly compliment you and lie to your face, but then behind your back, they're telling the rest of your homies that, every time you look in the mirror with that shirt on, he thinks he's hot stuff, but he looks ridiculous.
Right.
It looks like Ace Ventura if he came from the Dollar Tree or something like that. Like, to me, that doesn't make any sense. That's never been the kind of people I've wanted around me.
I think that right there that you just said, I think it all comes down. This is something that's been ringing in my mind lately, and it's the word decisions.
Okay.
You decide what you want around you. You decide what you invest your time in. You decide who you're going to push away. Everything's based off the decision making. And if we don't understand that, we will always be running in circles with this topic and every other topic that we talk about. And just comprehend that. Understand that you need to see what you got going around. I feel like, okay, I could be on this podcast and I'm on my phone real quick. I have it on Do Not Disturb, right? But at the same time, it's like if I need to get something done real quick that came up to my mind and it's not disturbing the podcast, or it could be something else, like I'm on the computer, or I'm in class, or I'm taking care of my son, whatever it may be. But I could be productive in the midst of all that, then I'm gonna do it. You get what I'm saying? And that's a personal decision, because I'm like, okay, I don't have to do that later. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same thing with like the people around me. It's like I make the decision. It's like I was telling my friend Hector the other day. I was like, bro, like I make the decision towards not that it's my life. So it's like I make the decision on who I want around me, man. And I'm like, if you're not talking about positivity, if you're not talking about growth, if you're not talking about business, if you're not talking about whatever it may be that is beneficial, not just for my life, but for your own life, where I see like, what you want, there's not much of us to talk about. Now, for example, if a fan comes up from the podcast, or someone in general is coming to me and they don't understand who I am, I will show them with my actions like, hey, this is who I am, and this is how I've been able to build myself to this, and you could do the same and even better. You get what I'm saying? So I won't ever push no one to the side like that in an aggressive manner or anything. But I will definitely show you that with my decision making is what reigns above all, you know?
Yeah.
The people I have around me, the team I have around me is on the same mentality as me, is on the same speed as me. You know, it's like earlier when we were talking to mom and dad that I told them about the calendar and all that stuff. So they're like, well, put me on the schedule. Okay, I'll put you on the schedule, but this is how I function now. So it's like, you need to understand it, and that's it. So whether if it's my parents, friend, brother, sister, whatever, whoever it is, you got to get with the program. Why? Because I live on an organized basis.
It's a form of discipline that's not commonly practiced.
For sure. And then the people that do practice it are the people that are actually out there doing positive things that
they're working
the
really
surroundings
hard.
are just the same as them or better, you know?
Yeah. A lot of successful, let's call it successful, right? In our eyes, in terms of like, they've got businesses, they've got, you know, they're economically speaking, they're well off and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're constantly in a discipline where they're managing their money in a particular way. They're managing their time in a specific manner.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't make sense to, let's call it, the common folk, because it's not something you put into practice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, that's a whole nother topic, but the point is, you know, it kind of needs to work that way. And it may not seem right, especially for your loved ones. It's like, oh, do you have time for me? Can you put me on? Yes, I can absolutely make time for you. For sure. But just know and understand, and don't judge me for trying to get things done so that I can make progress for all of us.
And let me correct myself on that. It's not like I said, hey dad or hey mom, like, you got to get on the schedule. If not, I'm not coming by. Or I'm not doing these things. It's more like if you need like a huge favor, like it needs a good chunk of the day for something, like, hey, let me know a day or two ahead of time so I could put it in there, because you're a priority anyways. You're my family member, you're my parents, or you're my brother, whatever. But like,
and he does go out of his way all the time.
For sure. So I'm not worried about that. It's just more like, let's just be organized. It's like, let me rub off my organization and my discipline on you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And everybody around me. So it's all about like, because, you know, maybe some of your people in your surroundings aren't negative people, but like, they don't have certain disciplines, and maybe you're trying to create them, so you don't really gain anything from them on that discipline. But it's something that once you created yourself with maybe other people or just by yourself, you can rub it off on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that any negative that rubs off around and influences humans, I think the same thing is with positive. You know what I'm saying? It just all depends who you're around.
And as that other person, they have to be willing to take it. Accept it and embrace it. If not, then it's just like, well, all right, you do you, I'm gonna do me. But
for sure,
you know, don't just be like, oh, hey man, you're so successful. Yes, because I had an organization of things, and you don't want to take that habit. So I don't know what else I can do to help you.
And then another thing, you know, something that I must say in regards to this topic as well, like one of the things I did, it's not that I did it by myself because I wanted to, it's because I had to. Like when we were starting this podcast and all these new ventures and things that I'm doing now, I've done them in silence per se, not alone, but I've done them in silence because first off, I don't want to tell people what I'm doing, what I got going on. It's more like,
until it's time.
The podcast is airing Wednesday and we have this spectacular person coming on, this very positive or successful person. We're not going to tell you. You're going to be surprised with it, and hopefully it's a blessing for you and everybody else around. You get what I'm saying? And then everything else.
We've done that with every guest. Like, it's,
for sure.
We're tackling different, I don't want to say genres, but you know, different walks of life where it might entertain you, but it might not entertain the other viewer. I mean, it is what it is. It's a give and take, but the goal.
At the end of the day, it's just like, you know, there's certain phases in life where you have to work with very minimal amount of people, or just and be very silent about your things and just work on yourself, build it, and then once it's built, you start to create the team that you want. Whether it's a business or a relationship or whatever, you just you slowly start bringing in what you want. And again, once people start seeing that you have the control in a lot of things, not that you're a tyrant or anything like that, but once you are doing these things and you're influencing people will start to follow you, because they're going to be like, whoa, like this guy's doing a whole lot of different things, you know, and I want to be around this guy, you know.
And when you see people interested like that, like, you want to be a blessing to them. You want to be able to,
for sure,
you know, guide them the way you kind of learned how to do whatever it is, whether it's podcasting or, you know, something else.
Yeah, for sure.
And going from there. Why is community so important? Well, it piggybacks on the friendship topic, which is these connection of people and the small interactions we have in life bolster our overall happiness, health, and provides diverse perspectives and experiences that expand our world view. Again, that just comes down to what Shamir's mentioned, what I've mentioned in terms of like organization or telling open and honest conversations. There's so much I feel like we can't cover obviously today. In terms of friendship and community, just know that you have the opportunity to choose what it is that you want within your bubble. That'll allow you to grow. That'll allow you to live a healthy life as best as you can. What else? Some of the things that I found real quickly that through scripture it says that talks about the value of friendship. Now, whether you're a Christian or not, I think it's important for you guys to hear this in terms of the friendship side of things and what you can do, again, to decide what kind of people you want around you.
Yeah.
In the book of Proverbs is one of the books within the Bible that provide a lot of knowledge and wisdom. So I love it a lot. But Proverbs 17:17 says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity." There's another famous one, of course, Proverbs 27:17, that says, "Iron sharpens iron, and one man sharpens another." Which, I mean, I'd like to think that's what we do because we're literal brothers, but we're also friends. And some of the friends that we have, too, that's exactly what we do. If you sharpen a knife, right, a cutting knife of some sort or whatnot, you sharpen it up, that sucker's going to slice right through whatever meat you're cutting through beautifully. I worked in the meat department a little bit at the supermarket that we have here in Florida. It's called Publix. It's in a couple other states as well, but I know some of you out there may not know or have ever heard of Publix. Yeah, look it up. So they say where shopping is a pleasure. It's up to you to decide if that's true or not.
And other things too.
And you know, when you cut meat with a dull knife, you're just struggling there. And you're just like, what the freaking heck, this sucks. I hate going to a restaurant and you're gonna cut into a steak or chicken.
Yeah, the dull ass
and
knife.
You're just like, bro, like, do you have anything better back there? No, it's like you gotta have your own little knife kit, and to be able to cut the meats right. It's so frustrating. But when you have a good knife,
yeah.
Oh man, that simple slice, and then just the meat's all juicy and stuff. Oh, I love that crap. It's beautiful. Point of that is, these are the kind of people you want around you. I mean, I could list a whole bunch more. I know we don't really have a lot of time for that today. There's Proverbs 17:9, right, where the topic of it is how to be a good friend. It says, a true friend forgives and doesn't hold grudges.
That's exactly right.
My friends, if you're anything like us, I'm sure you've had moments where you do not want to forgive certain friends. You know, for a number of reasons. They lied to you. They took something from you that didn't belong to them in the first place.
You want to hear a little anecdote that happened to me the other day?
Yeah.
I'm not going to mention his name, but this guy. All right. So I have my bike at his house, right?
Oh,
in my homie's house, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, me and my friend were huge mountain bikers. Like, that's our little... I haven't been doing it since the car accident. Actually, a little bit before that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But we mountain bike. Anyways, the thing is...
I mean, we have a funny story about mountain biking, the two of us.
Oh, that was a good day, too.
Yeah, a great day.
It was a great day.
For him.
But anyways, the thing is that... So my bike's over there, and then his brother had asked him...
To borrow
the bikes, because him and his homies are going. So... You know, I didn't know anything about this. You know how I found out? Chris literally posts on his Instagram
that he was using your bike.
Like you see like 3 or 4 pictures of them on his on my dog's bike and my bike, and I screenshot it and I'm like boom, and I send it to him and I'm like, dog,
is that my bike?
Somebody rented out our bikes.
Somebody rented out our bikes.
Yeah. And he's like, yeah, it seems like it, LOL. And I'm like, dead ass serious. I text him back. I'm like, next time ask permission. Period. And then he's like, okay. So what I'm trying to say is that it's just like, I don't care if his brother or anybody was using my bike. It's an expensive bike, so so that's why I was like, hey, next time ask at least. You know, it's the simple fact. What bothered me was just the fact that it's like I found out on social media. Like, if it was my car, that would have been a huge issue because it's like
that's even more expensive than the bike. But the bike alone.
I have another anecdote. This is another one that this is how you know I'm a forgiving person, and I'm not trying to boast about it. But like, there was one time. This was in 2017.
He remembers the date and everything.
Yeah, it's when Hurricane Maria hit in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And I had a homegirl that I was helping out at the time. She had a son. She was carless.
Yeah.
Right? So then the thing is that I'm like, hey, you know, I was driving her to work almost every day, and she works by the airport. So it's like from our house at the time then was like 30 minutes away. Like 30 minutes away.
Oh, from mom and dad's.
Yes. So 30 minutes away from the airport or whatever. And then it's just like, I'm like, yo, like I'm leaving for like almost 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So like,
figure it out.
No, like I'm like, you know, I'll let you borrow my car. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Like I'll let you borrow my car because she got to take the kid to school. The kid's already like 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? She's just walking, and then she just usually catches a ride or has someone take the kid to school. So she was like, you would do that? I'm like, yeah, like I don't care. At the time I had like freaking like 4 cars parked in the front of the house. So I wasn't tripping. So in my mind, I'm just like, hey, I'm just trying to be a good person or
Good
whatever.
Samaritan.
All right. So then I fly out to Puerto Rico, go help out the people and the families over there. We took boxes full of food and canned food, all that stuff. Great stuff. God bless Puerto Rico. And then when I come back, first off, I let her borrow the car with a full tank. Bam. That thing was above the full line. Like it was above that. I made sure they had gas for at least that a week, so she could at least run it. So then the other little bit of the other week, she could just pump gas or whatever. Right. Come back, bro. I have a quarter tank of gas left. The car is disgustingly dirty,
inside and out,
bro. Then the thing, this is the top.
I've never heard of this.
Put the cherry on top, bro. And I never said anything because I didn't want to hear Dad's lecture at the time. Like,
that's why you don't let people borrow the cars and da da da.
Like I already know. You ain't got to tell me. But the thing was that I got in the mail the DOT letter where like you run in tolls. And she had ran like 6 or 7 tolls. So I call her when I received the letter like 2-3 days in. And I'm like, yo, you ran tolls. She's like, no, I didn't run no tolls. What are you talking about? I'm like, listen. I'm like, all right, when we meet up, we'll chop it up. Bang, I go in person. I'm like, okay, what time is this? What day was this? I was in Puerto Rico when this happened, so don't tell me that this is not, that this is me or someone else. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, this and that, I'll pay for it. I'm like, it's not even about the 20, 30 measly ass dollars that we got to pay for the tolls or whatever. Yeah. It's the simple fact that you did all this, and I'm blessing you, where you could have just been taking the bus, catching rides, having your kid not safe with someone else, and I'm putting all these things in perspective, and you are just shitting on my hand. Bro, I cut her off after that because I'm just like, bro, like, just
she wasn't grateful for that.
I'm like, bro, just pay this fee, put your card, go on the website, type in all this stuff, pay it, and that's the end of it. She's like, well, you're really gonna do? I'm like, are you really gonna do this?
Right?
Like, you serious? Like, you had a whole almost 2 weeks to handle all this to make sure the car was clean, the gas was still back in there, or at least a half a tank, bro. I would have been happy.
Nah, even the day before, like, have that consider. Oh, he's coming back tomorrow. Let me make sure the car is clean.
Right.
That's common sense.
And be like, hey, Papi, like, I can't. You know that I'm struggling right now because I know she was struggling, especially with the job she had. She couldn't make really ends meet. All she had to do was really have to pay everything for her son. Anyways, long story short, it was a sad situation, and what I'm trying to get to is that there's moments where things like those happen, and a lot more things, and I could tell you about a whole lot worse things that have happened to me, but you know, it's just those little anecdotes I share because it's like, it's sad to see that sometimes people don't even value what you bring to the table, because you could bring a whole lot. You could bring gold, silver, all types of money. You could bring all types, and let's take away all the collateral and tangible things, or whatever you want to call them, out of the table. For example, for a second, everything that you have in your mind, in your heart, that you bring to the table, which is way more important than anything physical or tangible, right? And people still shit on that, bro. That is so sorry, bro. That's
inconsiderate, man.
Yeah, super, dude. And it's just like, man, like, I'm not that type of person, bro. I will never be around you to waste your time. And if it's like, let me give a good example too. Mm-hmm. When I got out of prison, mm-hmm. what was I doing to like repay you guys and to do things to, like, bro, like even out something? I would help you guys with the car, wash the car, change your oil, I didn't have a job, so I'm like, bro, like, I need to even this
then
out a little bit.
Once you had a job, and for example, you had a job at our previous job. Thank God we're out of there. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have a job because I was let go fresh from the honeymoon. And I mean, he helped me out as much as he could financially. Whether it was gas, oil, filter, all that stuff, whatever it was that we needed. Even during this season, you've been able to help out too and stuff like that. The point is, you got to do that for one another, whether it's family or friends, your community as a whole. You got to be willing to do that
for sure. And I don't say these things to like boast or to like.
Correct.
I'm just trying to give them as examples to show you, like, hey, this is this part of the story, and then this is the other side of the story, which is like, if I'm talking about myself, I need to talk about the positive and the negative, right? And be like, I've had my downs, and I've had my issues where I've had to fix, but I've also had this part of myself where it's like, you guys could do the same and even better. So it's like, if I see that I don't have a job, or if I see that I'm in a situation in life where somebody's blessing me, I have to make ends meet somehow. Why? Because life is literally about giving and receiving. That's it. If you think, oh no,
now don't give with the intention and expectation of receiving in return, because then now you're doing it for selfish reasons rather than for selfless reasons.
Yeah,
that is something I need to emphasize, because I have dealt with people like that too, including myself when I was younger. Until you have these wake up calls where you're just like, oh crap, I really was being selfish about this, and you got to own up to it. And sometimes that means losing the relationship, which is unfortunate. And I've lost a couple of friendships because of that. Other ones, I don't really care for. Yeah. There's some friendships I've lost that I'm just like, cool, just bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah, for sure.
So be aware of that too. Where there's the good, there's also the bad. And if there's the bad out there where you see that all they want to do is use you for their own gain and that's it, cut them off real quick and peace out. Yeah, because that's only going to hurt you in the long run.
I just feel like some people are just not conscious about, like, dang, like how do I live? I remember Dad, like, he told me one time that when he was living here in Orlando with his brother at the time, like,
someone who's not around nowadays,
right?
And hasn't been for
right. And I can't really call him my uncle because we haven't had really a relationship or whatever. Yeah. It's not that he had to be, but I mean, just whatever, But when Dad was staying with him, whether he was paying rent or not, what I was trying to say is that he would like cut the grass, wash their cars. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, this guy is literally letting you in their house at the time, in a time of need, in order to
even though he doesn't have a job, he's not just a couch potato. He's
and that's
trying to earn his keep there.
I don't know if he was paying rent or if he wasn't. I don't know if he had a job or not. I'm just trying to say is that just the simple fact that this guy opened the doors, it's like, bro, like, he went above and beyond to show you, like, I'm appreciative of this, and I understand what you're doing for me will never go, what's the word I'm looking for? Will never go like unappreciated. You get what I'm saying? So
not being ungrateful.
A lot of people are like, me, and then it's just like, okay, let's say they come up, they forget about you, and even if they don't come up, because sometimes they just have such a poor mentality that they never progress, and they're always like that homeboy of yours, which I won't mention his name, that nickel and dimed every single person around you and everybody else, and he's living a low life with a low life partner. You got what I'm saying? If they're still even together. But it's just like, you give what you give to life, you're gonna receive, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, 100%. So just value. Sorry, what you have around you, what you would like to have around you. Like, you guys will have some homework this week if you want to apply it or not. Whenever you're seeing this, write down what you would like to have around you, what you don't want to have around you, what kind of life you want to have, the people that you have currently or would like to have, like, how would they help you elevate you? And don't just think selfishly, but also think about how you can help them, how you can help your current friends or acquaintances or coworkers that could potentially become friends. What can you do to, be that bright light in their lives? Because, man, I'm telling you, the friendships that we definitely have, they're not like super huge, but we're blessed to have a couple of people who really are just wonderful, and I'm so grateful to have them in my life. And again, I was talking to somebody the other day about my groomsmen and stuff like that, and they're also married, and they were talking about how they haven't talked to their groomsmen in like
forever,
over 10 years. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, I talk to every single one of mine still to this day.
For sure.
And most of them, I mean, we've grown up. One of my groomsmen was originally his friend first, that they went to school together, and I met him through Shamir. And then we've all just kind of kept in contact and stuff like that throughout the years. And I mean, how many years has that been? That was Puerto Rico.
That was like 2006,
2007-ish. I left middle school and you guys were in middle school. You guys just got to middle school.
Yeah, so that was like...
So I'd say like 2008.
So then what is that?
Let's go
like
with 2000.
16 years.
Shoot.
Like 15,
16 years. I've been married for 2.5 years. So at that point, it would have been 14 years that we've known him.
Yeah.
Longest person in terms of like all of my groomsmen, that's the longest person that we've known. Still keep in touch to this day.
For sure.
Couple of the ones that were with us over the weekend, known them for about 8 or 9 years at this point too.
Yeah.
And then the last one that I'm thinking of goes to our old church, and once in a while we message each other on Instagram or even text once in a while when I see that he's posting about his career and him still going to school and all that stuff. His sister actually just got married what was it, like a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. The point is, I value those relationships, and to say that they went through my marriage right there by my side, and that we're still in contact to this day and we still catch up, I think in today's society is a rarity. And sometimes when I feel alone, I don't think about that stuff until moments like this where it's like, wait a minute, I'm not really alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all got busy lives, but man, like, I need to count my blessings and be grateful about it, because, God forbid I were to lose that. It's just like,
for sure,
I should have been grateful at the time when I had them.
Yeah. Do you have anything else?
I mean, are we wrapping it up?
I mean, whatever. We can keep going forever.
No, let's definitely wrap this up. There's a quote that I came across, and then I'm going to leave you guys with a list of things to look forward to, and then we'll end it there. The quote says, "Sometimes friendships mean to simply be there for your friend, not to give advice or try to fix anything, just to be there and let them know that they are cared for and supported." Which, I mean, we've touched upon that particular thing in the past episodes, where sometimes you don't need to be preachy. Sometimes you don't need to tell them everything's going to be okay. No, just let them let their emotions out, give them a hug, put your hand on their shoulder, tell them you love them, you're here for them. And then if they need that advice, give it to them when the time is right, when the emotions have settled, what have you. So just keep that in mind. And lastly, write this down if you guys need to. The importance of friendship and community, right? Not the meanings or anything like that. Just let's call it a list of things that you should consider
for sure
within those relationships that you have. Emotional support, healthy behaviors, reduce loneliness, a sense of belonging. Friends enhance your self-esteem. Supportive friend, of course. Friends keep us in check, meaning they're going to hold you responsible about the things. Let's say you have an addiction. Well, they're going to be like, hey, listen, how you doing this week? Did you dive into porn again? Or did you, use a little drug you shouldn't be using or whatever? Okay, well, what can we do to have you lay that off? Because we talked about that last month that you're still
on that, yeah.
Friendships provide security. Whether that is literally making you feel like you're not alone, help you out a little bit here and there financially, emotionally, mentally, and so on and so forth. They help you cope with traumas. Now, they're not a therapist. Remember that. That's a whole different ball game. But they can help you overcome those traumatic events that you might be going through, whether it's some sort of abuse, just difficult moments you've gone through. Confidence building. Make sure they build that confidence of yours. Whether it's, going to talk to that person you find attractive, going to that job interview that you're nervous and not feeling confident about, making sure you study and prepare yourself for that test that you might have, whatever it might be. Make sure that you have that person right there building up your confidence as best as possible. Friendship improves your mental health and physical. And lastly, socializing staves off cognitive ailments.
That's good.
I'm going to leave that with you guys. This has put some things in perspective for me personally, and I just want to make sure that you guys have received everything that we've been able to kind of share with you guys from our personal experiences and based off the research that we've been able to come across. Anything else on your end?
Yeah, let me hit it here with one more saying, and we'll take off for tonight. It says, a good friend is a connection to life, a tie to the past, a road to the future, and the key to sanity in a totally insane world.
Yeah.
Okay. Be that friend that you want people to be with you. Even if I always say this on every podcast, technically, that we talk about something similar to this topic is be what you want people to be with you, even though they are not giving the same amount. Again, don't do things expecting to get them back. Be the difference in the world. Be the change.
Be the light.
Be the light. Don't be the darkness. Don't lean to the darkness. Yes, yes. Join the dark side. I am not promoting this on an actual manner. This is just me being funny here, and I just love the dark side when it comes to Star Wars. All the fandom out there, I like the dark side. He loves the light side.
I love the dark side too, but I want to be a good guy at the end.
And
of the
that's
day.
fine, But you get what I'm trying to say. But anyways, we thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the ringle dingle dingle. Follow us on all our social platforms. Don't forget we have a Spotify and Apple podcast as well that you guys could follow as well. Listen to us on each one of them. Come on YouTube and watch this amazing video that we always have. And and
if you guys have any recommendations on people that you would like to see come on to our podcast, that you're just curious to hear about their story, their trials and tribulations, anything like that, please reach out to us and let us know. We'd be more than happy to kind of take a look at them and see.
And if you might know them and you, whether if it's a famous person or not, and you could get in contact with them and bring the contact to us so we can make it a little bit easier and quicker for the process to happen, then awesome. But please make sure that it's people that will reply and people that are actually willing to be on the show, because you know, we've had recommendations sometimes in the past. We hit them up and they're just like, yes. And then they're just, we're all about our business. We're all about, bringing out a message and spreading the wealth and the blessings of our own knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of life.
Absolutely.
So we want to be able to continue to do that with other people's lives as well, and have other people, share their testimonies and their life struggles and their ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? So just help us out with that.
We're all just trying to grow together.
For sure. So we love you guys, and let's grow together. And it'll be until the next time. Y'all take care and have a great week.
See you guys.
See ya.